So as you know, last spring we put gravel down on our driveway here. And the idea was so when we transitioned from the side of the road down, that we didn't drop off from the road because there was just a big drop off. Well, all this gravel ran off. Now, I realized I should have used like 1 inch minus or something, but I used this because this is what we use for our French drain. So this was just a leftover. But it all washed down and didn't work, which I kind of halfway expected. Well, yesterday, the road crew resurfaced the road, which only lifted the road higher from my driveway. Well, the truck front end was already dragging when I would come down off the pavement. It would drag. So I came out here and I was laying some rocks on my drive, just big rocks, so it wouldn't slam down like that. Well, the road crew guy who was holding the sign was just right here, and he says, you know, they should have filled that in for you when they were there. I said, oh, it's no big deal. I tried some gravel, washed away. I'll get some other gravel later. Well, they finished up and left, and I still had this huge drop off. I didn't know if I was going to get the truck out, so I was going to have to take the shovel and scrape some of that gravel back up. Well, they came back a few hours later and they filled that in. So I have this nice little transition from the road now. That is just fantastic. I mean, that's just amazing. So we used it today. Had to go to the grocery store and get some more propane. So we used this, and man, that was nice. There was no drop off or anything. It was perfect. So I was really appreciative. I didn't actually see him do it. I don't know what I was doing. So like I said, we went to the grocery store today. Whoa, that's a scary sight. First thing we did though is we got some propane. Now last time we went and got it was $11 for a 20-pound bottle of propane tank, whatever you want to call it, which was a lot cheaper than what the original price is. That was with a military discount. The original price was $14. So I was really appreciative that we got that. I got like 6 bottles filled up, 6 tanks filled up for $70. I mean, it was real cheap. We had to go back today. We had 2 tanks empty. Thought I'd just go ahead and fill them while we were at the grocery store because it's just basically right across the street. Well, it went up 41 cents per tank. So even propane costs are going up. I told you the other day the gas prices went up to $4.19. So this makes propane cheaper to run on the generator than gasoline. Gasoline would be over 12 bucks for 30 hours of runtime, whereas the propane tank costs 11 bucks for 30 hours of runtime. Well, now it's 11.41. So I did the pricing again, of course, then propane's still cheaper, but propane's going up. Not a lot. I mean, it's per gallon, it's not that much, but per tank. Now this place, it's $11 per tank, regardless if it's half full or completely empty or whatever. So make sure your tank is empty is what we got to do. Well, then we went over to the grocery store, and I was just dreading the grocery store. We got in there, and Carolyn is just amazing at shopping. The first thing I noticed was almost all the meat prices had went up $1 a pound, at least $1 a pound. Pork, beef. Hamburger was a little bit on sale today. They do that occasionally, especially on Fridays at Save a Lot. That's where we go, Save a Lot. And you can find hamburger, usually it's like $25 for 5 pounds or $20 for 5 pounds. Well, today it was $14 for 5 pounds. So Carolyn got that. I think it was I don't know, it's $2.50. Let's just call everything $2.50 right now. They have this reduced price freezer. You got the main meat aisle, then in the middle of the aisle you got this other freezer, and that's where they put all the reduced price. I would imagine that stuff's getting ready to expire. And they had quite a bit of meat in it. Carolyn found some pork chops for like $1.50 or something like that. That was the cheapest food they had there. The cheapest meat they had there was that $1.50. So she got I don't know, 2 or 3 packages of that. They were probably 10-pound packages, 5 or 10-pound, maybe 5-pound packages. So she got, I think, 2 of those, maybe 3. Regardless, it doesn't matter how many she got. She just found on sale. Well, then they had these pork tenderloins, and it was $2.29. Now, I did not know the pork chops that she just got was on sale, that cheap. So I pointed to the $2.26, and I thought it was a bargain. Of course, everything's went up $1. Last time we went, most everything was right around $1.50 a pound that we bought. But this time it wasn't. So we got sausage and hamburgers and different things. It was all like $2.26, $2.50. It's went up quite a bit. Carolyn always puts on her bargaining hat, And she always walks out of there somewhere in between $150 and $200 all the time for a month's worth of food. I don't know how she does it. I find it absolutely fascinating. No matter how much prices go up, she still can get a month's worth of food for $150 to $200. Now the ham doesn't seem to be going up. They got this big 17-pound or whatever it is. It's a huge pork butt of ham, and it hasn't went up at all. It's been about $1.50 for the last several months that we've went now. Now the chicken, you can get these hindquarter chickens, like a 10-pound bag of chicken. That's what we canned last year. And usually you can get it around 49 cents or 59 cents, depending on the season. In the winter, you can get it 49 cents. In the summer, it's 59 cents. Well, it's went up to 69 cents a pound. So even the cheap chicken's starting to go up in price. I heard that on a video the other day that it was up at 69 cents. I didn't think Save a Lot would have went up as much as Walmart did, but it did. And what was really amazing was it was almost empty. That chicken is never almost empty. I think they had like 2 bags left. I mean, it wouldn't have been enough for us to can. Now, we don't get any more of that here recently. Like I said, we did last year. But with us raising our own chickens now, we'll just can the chicken that we raise. That should save us cost on having to buy that chicken. You know, we eat popcorn regularly. It's not good for you. We've realized that the carbohydrates are terrible. But it still makes a nice snack while we're watching Netflix in the evening. They didn't have any. It was gone. They only had a few boxes of microwave popcorn. Of course, we can't use microwave popcorn. We don't have a microwave. And microwave, but the bags themselves are absolutely toxic, so we don't get that. But we also buy lard, like a gallon bucket, I don't know, of lard. It went up $2 since the last time we were there. So prices are going up a lot. I keep hearing people say, well, it's still reasonable, you still go shopping. I don't know if you're not bargain shopping like Carolyn is, and you're just getting just bare essentials. Food prices are gonna go up for you. It's just out of hand. Coffee went up from like $6 to $9. So I like Folgers, but Maxwell House is cheaper right now, has been for the last several months, but it went up. We've gotten this generic brand a lot. It's Save a Lot, several times in the past, and we don't like it. It just doesn't taste good. But in order to try to save money, Carolyn said, let's go ahead and get this stuff, even though we don't like it, and we can mix half a can or a quarter of a can of this stuff with our regular coffee. And that way, we'll at least dilute the taste. And this stuff was pretty cheap. I think it was $5 something a can. So that was maybe it was even $4. I mean, it was really cheap. So I mean, it was almost hard to pass up that bargain there. This is just the way Carolyn thinks. How do you minimize the cost? Now, sausage is a problem. Sausage is going up in price. I mean, I think it was like $3.50 a pound. It was terrible. And we like to have our little, what we call spaghetti. It has no noodles in it, but she puts spaghetti sauce. I think we're gonna buy a grinder. We've been talking about it forever. I don't know why we haven't bought one yet. I guess because we really haven't found a reason to buy one. It would just be laying around, but now I think we need one. Then we could have gotten those pork loins, and we could have ground it up and made our own sausage, come up with a sausage recipe. Now you got to be careful with that. The spices can get quite expensive in sausage. I've made my own sausage, and it's quite pricey. So as long as you're calculating your spice cost in with your pork cost, and make sure that it's still under the price of sausage at the store, then it's worth it. But if you start getting into lots of expensive spices, or if prices weren't going through the roof right now, it may not be worth it. Like I said, I did it in the past. We butchered a hog, and we made most of the hog. I would say 90% of the hog we turned into sausage, because we eat a lot of sausage. But I think after we did it, we really didn't save all that much. The only reason there was a savings at all was because we bought the pig. It was a living pig. We bought it at the auction. I think the whole pig cost $100. Butchered it, so you know, it was pretty cheap doing it that way. But when you started adding those spices, boy, it really racked up the cost fast. So think about that. Now, I think the shocker that I saw was chicken. I told you about the frozen chicken quarter bags. Showed you those last year, 69 cents. But when you actually went to the counter or the freezer or the meat section, they're selling at $5 a pound. It was just through the roof high. I thought, well, let's go check out the eggs. And we went over to look at the eggs. They didn't go up much. Now, they are $2.99. And Carolyn said that's pretty high. I don't know what they were before the shortage. But for the last 3 months, eggs have been $2.99. So whatever they were before that, they went up to $2.99 and have stopped. There was plenty of eggs. I know there's a lot of YouTube videos out there saying eggs are going through the roof and there's a shortage of eggs. I just haven't seen it. I do believe that there's probably a shortage of eggs. That being said, raising our own chickens, we don't get eggs and we don't need the eggs. But the chicken price itself was just amazing. I mean, we're not talking about Tyson chicken or anything. This was just yucky old looking chicken that they throw in the spoiler counter. That wasn't even the stuff in the regular freezer. That was the on sale stuff. So I couldn't even imagine what the rest of it would have cost. So prices are going up and it's pretty significant. Got to go get gas tonight. We're down to 3/4 of a tank and I'm just not going to let it get low in case prices go through the roof or they run out. I don't know. I have this feeling that we're going to run out at some point in gas. That way we'll at least have the truck full. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to take my 2 cans of gas. They're completely full. I'm going to fill the lawnmower up, going to fill the little generator up, the old one, and we'll put the rest in the truck and we'll fill the cans back up. That way I'm rotating the gas out so it's not going stagnant. But I really do think this is a good time, if you haven't thought about buying chickens yet, that it's time to start thinking about buying chickens. I know my mom just got some today. She's got to go to the post office today and pick them up, little chicks that she ordered. I'm really glad that she's doing this. It's a relief to me that she'll have something to eat. So if you can click the up next video, I'd appreciate it, taking the next video. I hope I can inspire you to try to find some off-grid food so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.